The year was 1919, a time of great upheaval and uncertainty. World War I had just ended, leaving millions dead and countries in ruins. The scars of the Great War were fresh and the world was struggling to rebuild. The Treaty of Versailles, meant to ensure peace, instead fueled resentment and instability. It was a document that sowed the seeds of future discord. Germany, blamed for the war, faced harsh punishments, loss of land, limitations on its military, and heavy fines. These measures crippled the nation and humiliated its people. This bred anger and economic hardship, creating fertile ground for extremist ideologies. Desperation and disillusionment spread like wildfire. Meanwhile, in Italy, Benito Mussolini's fascist party rose to power, promising strength and national revival. His rhetoric captivated a nation yearning for stability. In Germany, Adolf Hitler and his Nazi party exploited economic despair and national pride, promoting a hateful ideology of racial superiority. They promised to restore Germany to its former glory. Across the globe, Japan, driven by militaristic ambitions, expanded aggressively in Asia, seeking resources and dominance. Their actions were a clear sign of the growing tensions. The world, scarred by one war, teetered on the brink of another. The memories of the past conflict were still vivid, yet the signs of impending doom were unmistakable. The League of Nations, formed after World War I to prevent future conflicts, proved weak and ineffective. Its noble intentions were undermined by its inability to enforce its resolutions. Its inability to address the growing aggression of Germany, Italy, and Japan set the stage for another global conflict, one that would be even more devastating than the last. The world was on a collision course with catastrophe. The world watched with bated breath as tensions escalated, the drums of war growing louder with each passing day. The seeds of conflict had been sown, and the harvest would be bitter. On September 1st, 1939, Hitler unleashed the German war machine, invading Poland in a blitzkrieg, a lightning war that emphasized speed and overwhelming force. The rapid and brutal assault caught the world off guard, showcasing the devastating potential of modern mechanized warfare. France and Great Britain, bound by treaties to defend Poland, declared war on Germany, marking the beginning of World War II. The declaration was a significant moment, signaling the start of a conflict that would soon involve many nations across the globe. What began as a European conflict soon engulfed the globe. Nations from every continent were drawn into the fray, turning local skirmishes into a worldwide struggle for power and survival. Japan, allied with Germany and Italy in the Axis powers, launched a surprise attack on Pearl Harbor, Hawaii on December 7, 1941, hoping to cripple the United States Pacific Fleet. The attack was meticulously planned and executed with precision. The attack, intended as a decisive blow, backfired spectacularly, drawing the United States into the war with a vengeance. The American response was swift and resolute, marking a turning point in the conflict. The world watched in horror as the conflict spread, drawing in more nations and escalating into a battle for global domination. The scale and intensity of the war were unprecedented, affecting millions of lives. The Axis powers, driven by ideologies of hate and conquest, initially seemed unstoppable. Their early victories were swift and decisive, spreading fear and uncertainty across the world. German forces swept across Europe, conquering France, Denmark, Norway, and others. Their relentless advance seemed to know no bounds, leaving a trail of destruction in their wake. Japan, meanwhile, rampaged through Asia, seizing control of vast territories. Their aggressive expansion was marked by brutal tactics and harsh occupation policies. The world braced itself for a long and brutal conflict. The scale of the war was unlike anything seen before, with battles raging on multiple fronts and the fate of nations hanging in the balance. World War II was a clash of ideologies and military might on an unprecedented scale. It was a conflict that spanned continents and involved nations from every corner of the globe, making it one of the most significant events in human history. The Axis powers, driven by dreams of global domination, fought with ruthless efficiency, employing advanced tactics and technology to secure early victories. But their early victories were met with fierce resistance. Across occupied territories, resistance movements sprang up, determined to fight back against the oppressors. The Battle of Britain, a months-long air campaign, saw the Royal Air Force bravely defend their island nation against the Luftwaffe, Germany's formidable air force. This battle was crucial in preventing a German invasion of Britain. On the Eastern Front, the Battle of Stalingrad became a turning point in the war. It was one of the deadliest battles in history, with immense casualties on both sides. German forces, after initially advancing deep into Soviet territory, faced fierce resistance in the city of Stalingrad. The Soviets, determined to defend their homeland, fought with unparalleled tenacity. The battle, a brutal months-long struggle, resulted in staggering losses for both sides and ultimately marked the beginning of Germany's retreat from the east. It was a significant blow to the Axis powers' ambitions. The Allied powers, united in their opposition to Axis aggression, formed a grand alliance. This coalition was essential in coordinating efforts across multiple fronts. The United States, Great Britain, and the Soviet Union, despite their ideological differences, joined forces to defeat a common enemy. Their collaboration was a testament to the power of unity in the face of adversity. This alliance, forged in the fires of war, would have profound implications for the post-war world. It laid the groundwork for future international cooperation and the establishment of lasting peace.